Here's a simple, nourishing carnivore breakfast sandwich that feels as good as it tastes. Come into the kitchen with me and let's make it together. To make the breakfast sandwich bun, we'll be using pork rind powder, 1 large egg, baking soda, either sour cream or kefir, and optionally a pinch of salt. Let's start by bringing the pork rind powder into the bowl. It's going to act as our flour in the carnivore bun, giving us that structure and a little bit of crispiness. Next, sprinkle in the baking soda. Baking soda is a single mineral compound called sodium bicarbonate, so it's not a plant food, not a carbohydrate, and not something that interferes with ketosis or carnivore digestion. This tiny bit of leavening will help the bun lift enough so that it's not dense and heavy. It's a small ingredient, but it makes a noticeable difference in the final texture. Now let's crack 1 egg. This is what binds everything together and gives the bun that soft bread-like texture once it's cooked. Give the yolk a quick break with your spoon or your fork and blend it smoothly into the mixture. Add your sour cream or kefir if you prefer a tangier flavor. This is what activates the baking soda and keeps the bun tender and moist instead of crumbly. It gives the batter a beautiful creaminess as you stir. Now if the batter is too wet, feel free to add a bit more of the pork rind powder. Here I used an extra large egg, so I'll need to add a tablespoon or more of pork rind powder. And if you're using a pinch of salt, go ahead and add it now. It sharpens the flavor and balances everything out, especially since the pork rinds can vary in saltiness. Remember, a little goes a long way here. Once everything is in the bowl, gently mix until the batter is smooth and even. You're looking for a texture similar to a thick cookie dough, spreadable but not runny. And just like that, your bun mixture is ready to cook. The bun can be baked in the oven or cooked on a stovetop, which is what I'm showing here today. Add a little fat to your pan. I'm using beef tallow, but lard, bacon fat, or even butter will all work beautifully. Once the pan is warm, drop in your dough and gently spread it out to the size that you want the bun to be. As it begins to set, go ahead and add your bacon to the pan as well. Then add a touch more fat in preparation for cooking the egg. Partially cover the pan with a lid, as this will help the bun rise and stay nice and fluffy. I'm using a ceramic-coated compartment pan, which makes it so easy to cook each part of this breakfast sandwich at the same time. I'll leave a link in the description below if you want to check it out. Now crack in your egg and let it cook alongside everything else. You'll also notice I'm using wooden utensils here. In a clean, mindful kitchen, it's not just the food that matters, it's the tools you cook with. Stainless steel and solid wood help reduce chemical exposure and microplastic contamination, keeping your meals as pure as possible. Now that the bun is ready, remove it from the heat to let it cool slightly before slicing. As it cools, you'll notice the texture firms up just enough to slice cleanly while still staying soft and tender inside. If you love melted cheese in your breakfast sandwich, this is the perfect time to add some right onto the egg. As I cut through the bun, you can see how cleanly it opens up. It's soft, light, and ready to stack with all of our savory layers. Now comes the best part, bringing all the elements into one beautiful breakfast stack. As I layer the bun, the soft, warm egg, and the crisp bacon, you can really see all of this coming to life in a comforting morning meal. Every layer adds its own texture and richness, creating a sandwich that feels hearty and deeply satisfying. It's simple, grounding, and exactly the kind of breakfast that makes you look forward to the day. Thanks for spending this time in the kitchen with me today. If you enjoyed this recipe, feel free to like, subscribe, and explore more at carnivorecollections.com. Here's to simple food and peaceful cooking.